We got to add at least 2 more bench spots. There we go. I wish we could do more, but let's try to get more people in. All right. I'm going to get to the comments in just a second, man. Hopefully everybody's good. If you did not get in the mock draft, we got another one coming too. I got another one coming too, man. Hopefully y'all got in. Hopefully you got in. Amari Cooper or Diggs? I got Diggs over Amari Cooper. Who's a good pick in the 3rd round? A Cup isn't available. I tend to get a guy like Stephon Diggs. I think any of those receivers, DK Metcalf, I tend to get a lot of him too. Or like the running backs, Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara tend to fall there as well. Ether was popping. How you join the draft? So if you didn't get a chance to join the mock draft, I'll drop another one here just a little bit. But the link to join the mock draft, the link to join the mock draft is going to be in the Discord, in our Discord. So check the description. The Discord is there. That's how you join all the mock drafts. But listen, tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern, I will be on Bleacher Report doing an auction mock draft. Make sure y'all come show some love to the kid, all right? Show some love to the kid while we here, man. Bleacher Report, 10 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow, all right? You out here doing physics work. Get your homework done, bruh. Yes, so all the mocks are in the Discord, my man. All the mocks are in the Discord. Rock out was good. What's good? Teddy was good. What's good? Silent Thief was popping. Back from the TikTok to the YouTube, as it should be. El Gran Santo was good. Najee or Javonte in the 6th round? I got Najee slightly, but Javonte is creeping up for your boy. I'm not going to lie. Javonte is creeping up. So we got 5 receivers off the board right now, 5 running backs. A.J. Brown slipped to me. I don't know how. I'll take him. I will take A.J. Brown there. I will take him. Which means I'm getting Jahmyr Gibbs, Garrett Wilson, or Devontae Adams. I feel really good about this spot right here. Really good about this spot right here. Yeah. You snagged Devontae. That's who I wanted, bro. That's who I wanted. I wanted Devontae, but it's all good. What fantasy app do you guys use? We're using Sleeper right now, but most of the time, Sleeper, Yahoo, then ESPN. That's kind of my order. Cannon, what's good, bro? He said, or is it Canaan? Is it Canaan like Raising Canaan from what's that show? What's the show? Power? Is it like that? Canaan or is it Cannon? Cannon. Last year, started listening to J Him and won the whole thing 12-2. You love to hear it. Yeah, hey, Michael, if you hear from me being on time, I ain't on time, bro. I'll be on J time. Just in time is my name, man. So yeah, sorry, I ain't always on perfect time, and like I don't do shit like by the book. If you're here for the first time and you never followed me before, just know I'll be doing shit on my own time. So if it say 9 o'clock, I'm here 15 minutes early. Sometimes I'm 30 minutes late. And sometimes during the stream, I say we're doing a mock draft and all I do is answer questions. So I am not the structured person if you're looking for that. But shit, if you're here for good fantasy information, man, I got that for you for sure. Get your lineups lined up. It's Jack from TikTok. What's good, Jack? What's good? Trey, what's popping, bruh? Hey, yo, Trey, I tried to give you mod access. I couldn't, though. I don't know why. I was trying to give it to you, and I couldn't. The Pashini, what's good? I don't know what I'm saying when I say Pashini, but hopefully it ain't nothing bad. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Vibes is good today, bro. These late streams, maybe we got to do more of these. I'm feeling these late streams, man. How you doing, man? Hey, yo, I'm chilling, bro. Chilling. Everything is good. Life's good. Kids are asleep or about to go to sleep. So life is good, bro. Dubs in the chat early, baby. Dubs in the chat. Love to see it. So I've been in a couple mock drafts recently where I've seen like tight ends go this early. I've seen a lot of quarterbacks go this early. So if you're here to the stream or this is your first time watching a draft on this page, this is also typically a time when somebody might take a Josh Allen. They might take a Sam Laporta. But in our drafts, we've been drafting. A lot of people have seen how our drafts go. The quarterbacks and tight ends don't go till later. So don't get thrown off if you see people taking quarterbacks a little early, tight ends early. We on here, we fade what everybody else is doing. We stick to the script, all right? 32 watching only. We only got 5 likes on this video. I'm starting to question y'all, man. I'm starting to question that y'all really here for the love. Y'all really here for the love and y'all can't like the video? Jay Anthony, what's good? What's good? What's good? Dubs in the chat, bro. Dubs in the fucking chat. Late night streams are fire. Love the late night streams. Well, shit, man. We might have to just start doing this in addition to the other stream, you know? Maybe this will just be the more chill stream. maybe this will be like, I don't know. I don't want to make any promises, but like during the daytime, maybe I'm doing like members only stuff. And then at night, maybe we doing no members only. Or maybe it's, every other day we doing members. I'm going to try to figure that out because if y'all fucking with the late night streams, we're going to be here late night then, dog. Check in. What's good? What's good, Q? What's popping? Isaac, what's popping, man? Thoughts on Jerry Jeudy? Good question, man. I think Jerry Jeudy has a little bit more upside than people are giving him credit for. This is a guy we were taking as like a top 35 receiver last year, right? So I think we're getting a discount because he went to Cleveland. He didn't play up to standards in Denver, and we all anticipated him making that leap that, not the same leap as CeeDee Lamb, but they came in the draft the same year. Like we were expecting Jerry Jeudy to take another leap. So I would say this. I think that Jerry Jeudy is one of those players where we can get a little value, but there's just not a whole lot of upside unless Deshaun is great this year. Like we would need to see the old version of Deshaun Watson in order to get anything out of Jerry Jeudy more than like 805. So especially if Amari Cooper's still there, if somehow Amari Cooper gets traded and Jerry Jeudy's the one, I'd be, like they're talking about a third team and you heard the Amari Cooper stuff. I know it's far-fetched, but if something were to happen and Amari Cooper wasn't on the team, now we can talk highly about Jerry Jeudy. But for now, he's just a dart throw as a wide receiver 5 or 6. Would you take AJB over Jonathan Taylor? Yes, I would take AJ Brown over Jonathan Taylor. In PPR leagues. In standard leagues, you're taking Jonathan Taylor. Devontae Adams, London, Mike Evans at the end of the second round. Give me Adams all day. And it doesn't matter if you took a wide receiver or running back. If you can get Devontae Adams at the end of the second round, you're winning. I took him at the top of the second round. I got no problem with that at all. A lot of people hate Devontae Adams. I still don't know to this day why people hate, or I was going to take Devontae Adams. I didn't get him. But a lot of people hate Devontae Adams. I still don't know why. What's your opinion on making trades before the season starts? Hold out to get your value. If I feel like the only reason I'd be doing trades before the season is if I was getting the best player in the deal. If I felt like I was getting the best player in the deal. I don't do a lot of depth deals I don't do a lot of depth deals at this time of year. It just doesn't make sense to me. Damn, y'all cleaned up. Damn. What is going on? Oh man, y'all cleaned up on the players I was looking for. I guess I gotta take the value. Well, we talk about value, right? Value above everything. When value starts to come into play, damn, y'all scooped up my guys. Y'all scooped up my guys. Huh? I gotta go with some names I normally don't go with. Gotta go with some names I normally don't go with, but I like the setup so far. That's a good one. Not just in time, just in time, baby. That's my name. Don't wear it out. That's my name. Don't wear it out. That's some old 90s shit, huh? That's how you know I'm an old head. That's my name. Don't wear it out. That's what shit my dad used to say to me, man. That's my name. Don't wear it out. That's what I used to say back in like the 70s and the 80s. That's how you know I'm an old head. So I be saying shit sometimes. And I'm like, that's how I know I'm an old head now. I know I'm an old head now. You know what I mean? Or like, you ever hear somebody that's just walking around there like totally? And you're like, man, you was a 90s baby. For sure you was a 90s kid. If you were walking around saying totally. And you know what's hella funny is like I hear my kids, right? I got a 13-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 7-year-old. They walk around and when it's like something that they agree with, they're like, wait, actually? And I'm like, they're going to be saying that when they're 40. Like that's going to be one of their phrases that they say. We heard like totally and rad if you was in that like surfer 90s era. So that's cool, bro. You hear me say cool. And it's funny because this new wave is like, actually, what's up, brother? That's the new wave now. So y'all going to be saying that shit when y'all 42. Cup too early? You think Cup's too early right now? Where did Cup go? I think that's perfect for Cup, actually. The fact that Jahan doesn't have a shit ton more subscribers is criminal. It could be for a lot of reasons. I don't know why. Nor do I care. Because the people that are here that are supposed to be here are here. And this page will grow when it's supposed to grow. I think a lot of people they hear what I say and they don't like it. People don't like what I say. I think that's what it is. I think the fact that like a lot of fantasy creators, they come off as like, here's what I think. And I come off more as like, here's what I know. And I think a lot of people don't like seeing a guy looking like me. Like I'm not in a suit. I'm not like, I got a hat on. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't talk the same way everybody else does. A lot of people in the world, in the US, don't want to see me shine. Let's put it that way. Or don't think I should know more about football than them or fantasy football than them. So Yeah, to be honest, I don't really care though, because the people that are here are the ones that want to win. And shit, I'm trying to win. So as long as we winning together, it really don't matter who's subscribed. It don't matter who's subscribed and who's not. You know what I'm saying? We gonna win. I know the people in this draft are gonna win. You can tell. You can tell, bro. Sometimes I rank your guys' teams low, and I'm like, you guys would still shit on like a lot of these other fantasy players. I already know that. Bijan, Mike Evans, and Kupp a good start in a 12-man? Absolutely, it is. You prefer taking Pittman over any of these guys? Nah, I think you did good. Bijan, Mike Evans, and Kupp, that's an excellent start. Like, think about your core, right? So here's how roster construction. I talked about this on a stream yesterday, a mock draft stream, and I wanted to bring that to this channel too. Roster construction is very important. If you guys want something extra on the draft guide, like if you got the draft guide and you're like, I need something extra, roster construction is something I could talk about. That's actually a good, maybe if I get enough stuff to add on, that would be part of it. But when I look at Bijan Robinson, what kind of player is he, right? Bijan Robinson is a floor-based player. As much as you want to say he has ceiling, this year Bijan Robinson is going to be a floor-based player. Probably going to total line with like somewhere 1,500 to 2,000 total yards, maybe more, maybe less, depending on who you fucking ask. But he's going to be somewhere between 1,500 and 200 total yards. 100 yards a game is probably going to be an average season for Bijan Robinson at floor. That's a floor-based play with a lot of ceiling. So how do I look at rosters, right? You look at what's the best possible outcome and what's the worst possible outcome. Bijan is a floor-based play. Mike Evans, as much on a weekly basis as he is inconsistent, right? He'll have those big weeks. He'll have, small weeks. He is also a floor play with a ton of weekly upside, right? So as Bijan Robinson is going to be a little bit more of like your every single week, you kind of know what to expect with Bijan Robinson in a PPR league, probably somewhere around 12 to 15 points a week. You're going to get that out of him for sure. Mike Evans now gives you the upside weeks, right? The 30-point weeks, along with the season-long floor. So there's weekly floor and there's seasonal floor. And Mike Evans gives you the seasonal floor with the weekly upside. Cooper Kupp, the reason why I take Cooper Kupp any chance that I can. The reason why. Cooper Kupp is a weekly and seasonal floor with weekly and seasonal upside, right? So everybody talks about the word upside, but what do they mean by that? Most of the time, their version of upside is, can I draft a player at the end of my draft and have him magically hit? Can I get the next Puka Nacua? Can I get the next Kyron Williams? Because that's how you win your league. No, that's not how you win your league. How you win your league is by drafting players that you kind of know what to expect, and you balance out weekly and seasonal floor with weekly and seasonal upside. I hope this is making sense, because in my head, it makes perfect sense. I don't know if I'm saying it the correct way, but like, to me, that's how I play the game. Shit, not done. I see it. Not David Montgomery. Hold on a minute. Don't pick. Hold on. Don't pick. That's not who I meant to take, bro. I'm over here yapping. All right. I hope that's making perfect sense, though, guys, because that is how you win. You make sure your roster can get to the playoffs. The goal is to get to the championship. In order to get to the championship, you have to have a roster that is capable of making the fantasy playoffs. If you have too many upside players that don't hit, you miss the fantasy playoffs. If you go to the fantasy playoffs and all you had were players who outproduced their draft position, now you don't have any weekly upside. If you took everybody at their ceiling, a.k.a. Marvin Harrison, a.k.a. Devon Achane, you take those guys and they don't hit their ceiling plays, now you're at a loss. If you take a guy like Devontae Adams, who has a weekly 6 to 7 catch, like that's his floor, 5 to 7 catches. We know that with Devontae Adams, he's a 10 to 12-point player, except for in the week where he does you dirty in the fantasy playoffs. Most of the time, he's a 10 to 15-point type of player. He also has the upside for 200-yard games, 2 touchdown games. So that's where you start to say, okay, what type of floor does somebody have? What type of why is Lamar down here? What type of upside does somebody have? I hope that's making sense. And I hope that was some gems, because I feel like in my head, I felt like that was. And if I'm just yapping, I'm yapping. If I'm just yapping, I'm yapping. What's Kyron's ceiling? Kyron's ceiling is probably like top 5 running back, maybe top 3 running back in McVay's system. If they decide they're not going to use Blake Corum. I doubt it, but like I think top 5 is kind of Kyron's ceiling. If you ask me what's his floor, it's probably a lot worse than that. What, Kamara in the second? Yeah, I mean, it's high, but like I like Kamara. Kamara's the top 10 running back at floor. I mean, we know he's a top 10 running back, so why is that a bad thing? The reason why a lot of people don't like Alvin Kamara is because they think he's getting older. That's literally the only reason why. Because if you look at his production, watch this. I'll pull it up for you. I'll pull it up for you since we're watching. Look at this right here. Right here is the positional rank in PPR leagues. Look at Alvin Kamara. He missed how many games last season? Missed 4 games last year, was a top 12 back. He was an RB1. He missed 2 games the year before that. He was the RB16. Worst season of his career. He missed 3 games the year before that. Was the RB8. I could go on and on. There's nothing wrong with Alvin Kamara. Not a thing. Why wouldn't he go in the top 20 picks? Why shouldn't he be a top 25 player off the board? Why is he going outside of the top 40 picks in real fantasy drafts? Like, that makes no sense. And then, look, I'll show you this too. While we're here talking about Alvin Kamara, because you guys know I love him. When we go to his game log, what's everybody say? Oh, he lost efficiency down the stretch. He lost efficiency down the stretch. Okay? Here was his fantasy points per game, right? He had 15, 28, 13, 16, and then the last 2 games, 8 and 6. So are they talking about these last 2 games down here is where he lost his efficiency? Justin, I know efficiency isn't fantasy points. Let's go to his yards per carry. 4.6, 3.6, 4.6, 4.13. Sunken down by a 2.1 yards per carry here and a 4.5. So we have 4 games over 4 yards a carry, and we're complaining about that? He's inefficient? I don't understand what half of these dudes are talking about when they say Alvin Kamara was in a decline efficiency-wise last year. His blah, 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 blah. Like, no, he wasn't. He was fine. The team was tanking. They were going out of the playoffs. They were obviously getting a new coaching staff in place. They knew that they weren't going to have a different offensive coordinator. They had to get their young guy, Kendre Miller, some love when the season got tight. Jamal Williams was playing in Week 18. They didn't play any of their starters. Jameis Winston was starting at quarterback in Week 18. And we talk about Alvin Kamara's efficiency down the stretch. What was wrong with it? So, rock out. That wasn't for you. That was for the Kamara people. That was for the people who say, why, you know what I'm saying? Like, take Kamara. He's old. He's not efficient. He's 28 years old. It doesn't matter if you produce. And Kamara clearly produces. Produces all the time. All he does is produce. If you want to bet this is the first year he's not a top 15 running back, by all means, I'll let you do it. Let me take the value. I'll take the value. Alberto, what's good, homie? You think Ayuk gets traded? Nah, I think the longer he stays, the more I think they're going to sign him. The longer he stays, the more I think they're going to sign him. I think a deal would have been done already with all that stuff that came out. I think they're just trying to work the number down. What's good, Jay? Yeah, Frankie was good. This is a late stream. Y'all getting me, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting here like, I'm getting amped up, baby. Kids will do that. Oh, you talking about kids will do? Oh, when I was talking about the kids, yeah. Hey, didn't think you'd be streaming this late. I'm not complaining. John Wick with a stick was good. I understand what you're saying, but I can guarantee I will not be saying, what's up, brother, at any point. Nah, watch. The shit that you say sometimes, it sticks. You don't even realize you say it because you're from like an era. And your era says stuff. So even like bro is like later. That was, what's up, bro? That was kind of like, to be honest, in like the 2000s, that was like you were making fun of the bros. What's up, bro? What's up, bro? That was almost like in the 2000s. I know people, the older cats, remember that, what I'm talking about. It was almost like, oh, what's up, bro? Like we were saying that in jest. And now it's like a staple of how people talk. They be like, what's up, bro? What's good, bro? Like that's a staple of how people talk now. I don't like that pick. I'm just going to take Ingram right now. I normally don't do quarterback and tight end early like that, but 7th round here, I'm not. I can get the player I want next. I never thought if you told me in the 2000s, I'd be like, what's up, bro? And I would say that a lot. I never thought, what's up, Brody? I'm damn near 40 years old. I'd be saying bro and Brody. If a person in your league came in last or not, make the playoffs, send them the link. What you mean? I don't get it. Tight ends, man, they went late in this draft. Late. I'm glad I got Evan Ingram when I did. I'm glad I got Ingram when I did. Let me get Singletary. Singletary don't really offer a whole lot of upside, but I like grabbing him right here. I should have grabbed my other guy instead. Kelsey is falling pretty far. I would say all the tight ends fell really far. All the tight ends fell really far, man. But shit, I'll take it. I'll take it. It worked to my benefit, in my opinion, at least for me. I'll see how the teams are. I'll rate these teams too. I'll try to go through them quicker. Normally I go through them. It takes me like 5-10 minutes. I'm going to try to go quicker. Did an 8-man draft for my friend. Not a huge fan of Najee's RB2. You can't have everything. I think with the rest of the team, though, Adams, Cup, Debo, Kincaid, Bijan, and Hurts, you can't be mad if you have one floor player on your team instead of a ceiling player. Trey, believe when I say you can do commercials football, but never 3 things at once. Roster construction makes a ton of sense. How do you identify what kind of player someone is just watching them play football for a long time? So, yes, I would say you can tell what kind of player is in PPR, like, by the way that they score. And this is why I'm down on a lot of players that – this is why I'm always down on players that a lot of the fantasy community is high on. Okay? So, for example, a player like Zay Flowers, right? To me, he is not a high ceiling player, and he has a lower floor than I would want for like my wide receiver 3. Why do I say that? Right? I think he has an okay weekly floor, but he has like a lower season-long floor. Last year, Zay Flowers had like just over 700 yards as a rookie, 4 or 5 touchdowns. I can't remember exact number for Zay Flowers. But when I look at his upside, this is why I always say things like this. I go, what is his upside? Does he have 100 catch potential in an offense with Lamar Jackson that never sees a 100-yard catcher? They also have another elite tight end. They don't pass that volume. They just added a running back, right? That's going to soak up carries in the red zone. They're trying to get another player more involved. They want to get their secondary tight end more involved. So Rashad Bateman, you have all these weapons. Where does Zay Flowers get better? What is his upside, right? What's changed in his situation now that makes me think, Zay Flowers is going to get 500 more yards, or he's going to get 20 more receptions, or he's going to get 4 more touchdowns at 5'8". And when you think about it in that aspect, you're like, there's not a whole lot of room for growth. So when you're looking at floor, it also has to mean like, yeah, maybe he has a nice weekly ceiling. He could go off for 150 and 2 touchdowns in a game. But then you also know that weekly floor is low because there's going to be games where he has 3 catches for 40 yards, 2 catches for 13, you know? So like Mike Evans is a player that's typically had a low weekly floor. He'll go 1 catch for 20 yards, 2 catches for 30 yards, no touchdowns. Sometimes he does that. But his season-long floor is much higher because we know he's a lock for 1,000. So I know he's going to produce wide receiver 15 numbers or better. I absolutely know this about Mike Evans. He might disappoint me on a couple weeks, but I absolutely know those are the numbers. A player that's like that this year is Calvin Ridley, right? We were taking him at wide receiver 12 levels because we saw the ceiling with him. We had already assumed he had the floor with Atlanta. And then he went to Jacksonville and he was paired with Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson. We thought that was going to be the ceiling. He was being drafted at his ceiling last year. That was the problem. People got too excited. Now he is being drafted at his floor. He was the wide receiver 18 last year. Excuse me. But because his games hurt people last year, the thought process is now different on him. We know what kind of player he is. So he's now being drafted at his floor. So that's why I talk about floor and ceiling so much, because that's what defines your upside. That's how I categorize my team. And you want to have a balance of players that have good season-long floor and weekly floor, good season-long ceiling and weekly ceiling. That's the nature of the game. To go take a Malik Neighbors this year, the range of outcomes is crazy because we don't know what it is with Daniel Jones, and you have to take him as your wide receiver 2 over players that we know their weekly ceiling and their season-long ceiling and floors, like a DK Metcalf. Some people I seen a post today that said Malik Neighbors was in their top 15 receivers, and that to me is like, that's crazy. That's just crazy talk to me. So, that's my rant on ceiling and floor. That's my rant on ceiling and floor. watching teams, knowing offenses. You need to know your offenses. Knowing the player type, right? Are they a volume player? That's why people talk about targets, 150 targets, 170 targets. The term ADOT means absolutely shit to me unless you're in a standard league, right? Average depth of target doesn't mean anything because they're getting deep shots downfield. They're targeted downfield. Doesn't mean that they actually corral those catches. So ADOT don't really mean shit unless you're in a standard league. Then maybe you can find some value there. So to me, I think what a lot of people do with analytics and numbers is they don't know how to use them right to find ceiling, to find floor. I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions. Like Deontay Johnson, even last year, was a player that a lot of people liked because a lot of people liked Deontay Johnson because of the volume and because of his efficiency. What they did not take into account was the fact that he was a volume receiver and had never produced. So he had one season, I think, where he was top 12, and that was it. But that was without George Pickens. They added George Pickens, takes away a lot of the opportunity, the ceiling for a guy like Deontay Johnson. I don't know, man. Like I said, I could keep rambling about it, but like that is the roster construction thing. That is the ceiling floor conversation that I need to find a better way to explain. I know what I'm saying is like probably kind of making sense. Probably like 60 to 75% of y'all are like, I get what you're saying, and the others might be lost. But I would say like that roster construction piece is really like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a big component to how you build your team out. Good question. Should I try to package Kyron with something for Saquon and Gibbs? I would love to do that. Go get Saquon if you can. Any way you can make the draft board bigger, get a bigger TV, homie. Put me on the big screen. That's as big as you get it. Sometimes I have it like this, so you got lucky. You got lucky. I made it smaller today, man. Now I don't know how to switch it back. There we go. Yeah, Kamara's a target monster. That's the thing about Kamara. You know what I'm saying? I like Kamara. You just don't need to take him in a second, take advantage of value. I agree with that, but like, what running back did he go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He was the 8th running back off the board. I have him as like my 8th or 9th back. Only one I probably would have took ahead of him was Derrick Henry. And you know he's not coming back around to you, so I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. It is early, but I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I don't think he would have made it back to him. If he wanted Kamara, I don't think he would have made it back to him. You know? I get taking advantage of value, though, but like maybe Deebo Samuel? Maybe you take Deebo right there. Maybe you take, like, what if you wanted a running back? That might be the running back you take, like him or Derrick Henry for me. Who else, you know? So I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying. You may have been able to get him in the 3rd, but this draft is full of you know what I'm saying, full of sharks. Kelsey or Keenan Allen? I'd probably go Kelsey over Keenan Allen right now. And I like Keenan Allen. What do you think about Nick Chubb? I'm kind of staying away from Nick Chubb. Think about it. PUP list at least to start the year. Say it's 5 or 6 games. Then he's got another 3 or 4 games just to get back up to speed. And he doesn't pass catch either. Like, and then he's probably going to be in a committee. And then coming off of another ACL tear, that's tough, man. And I really like Nick Chubb, too. I hope he comes back. And people say I look like Nick Chubb, so. How you feel about ETN? I think there's some risk with ETN if they really do manage his workload. He's fallen off. In 2 straight years, he's fallen off in the second half. So I have concerns about ETN, but he looked fresh in that preseason game. Running that angle route for the TD. I'm back, J-Han. Daniel, appreciate you coming back, bro. Was I dropping gems or not? You telling too much, J-Han. These kids don't get it. Let them keep taking the hot names. I don't know. Was I telling too much, man? Because I'd be like, you know, I feel like at least if y'all are watching, you guys get the knowledge. You know, 50 people that are watching right now. But it's like I feel like I'd be dropping gems, man. Sometimes I'll probably be yapping though. Sometimes I'll be yapping. But today I was in my bag, I feel like. I hope I was explaining it right. I'm gonna watch it back and make sure I wasn't like going. I feel like I was trying to get like there was times where I was good in thought, and then I was trying to like bring it back, and I couldn't always bring it back. But I felt pretty good about what I was saying. Like I feel like you can, if you've never heard that before, I feel like you found some value in it. Yo, Jay, I got a question about Thielen. I got him last round of my mock and started thinking about what he did last year. Is he being affected by Deontay Johnson? I almost said DJ Moore. That was 2 years ago. I think he's going to be affected by Deontay Johnson, but maybe not as much as everyone thinks. Dave Canales, I keep saying Brian Canales. Dave Canales, obviously, he said that Deontay Johnson's the guy, but what's one thing Deontay Johnson struggled with? He struggled with drops. He struggled with staying on the field. He always gets hit really hard. So I don't know. Thielen kind of slowed down towards the end of the year. He is getting older. And I mean, when you talk about old, when you're talking about like 33, 34, now you can start to worry about age. But I think Thielen is probably somebody we're going to pick up off waivers or like add and drop a lot versus I think they're going new wave. They drafted Xavier Legette, Jonathan Mingo last year. This is new wave time there. I'm not really big on Thielen. Maybe he's a little underappreciated. Maybe there's a little value, but there's not a whole lot of upside there for him, is what I would say. Not a whole lot of upside. Anybody get the new draft guide update? Anybody get the draft guide update? Let me know your guys' thoughts on that too. Did you like the content that was in there? Like I said, I might add a roster construction piece in there, but like, is there anything else you're still looking for that wasn't in the draft guide? Let me know. We can get down on another mock too. This one went kind of quick, so we can get down on another one. Just pick Mostert over Najee and Rambo. Who's Rambo? Who's Rambo? Why can't I think of Rambo? Who is Rambo? Rambo. Who is Rambo? I got to know that nickname. Let me know who Rambo is. I don't know that nickname. Is that Zamir White? Are they calling him Rambo? Who is Rambo? Who is Rambo? I thought they called Zamir White Zeus. Who the hell is Rambo, bro? All these running backs, am I crazy? I like Mostert more than those backs, but talk it. So I don't think you're crazy to like Mostert. I think he's going to be heavily involved in one of the best backfields in the NFL. But I feel like they're going to try to lighten his load too. Like that's why they're talking up Achane in the passing game, and that's why you go get a Jalen Wright. But I mean, if he got another 10 touchdowns, I don't think it would shock anybody. 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns, and you're getting him in like mid-tier RB2 territory. The thing is, Najee could get that though. He could get like 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. And then I don't know who Rambo is. I don't know why I can't think of who Rambo is. I don't know who Rambo is. I have CD, Ridley, AK is Mixon, and Devontae for Bijan and overpay. You have CD, Devontae, AK, Ridley, Mixon. You can go get Bijan, but I don't think in a PPR league you don't really need to do that with Devontae and Mixon. I think that's kind of an overpay, but you got to pay for who you want. I think that's kind of an overpay, and I really like Bijan too. Like if I had Bijan, that's what I would ask for. Put it that way. Rank Debo, Cup, and Diggs. I got it in my draft guide if you haven't seen it. There's also free rankings on the Autograph app. If you want my free rankings, just use code JHAN. You'll get the rankings for free. But in this order, I got Cup, Debo, then Diggs. Cup, Debo, then Diggs, just to give you the answer. Kamara had negative yards in a game last year and still had positive points in fantasy. I let everybody else talk about efficiency. Give me the fantasy points. Give me the fantasy points, man. Give me the fantasy points. You can have the efficiency. I'll take the fantasy points. Hey, Justin, in the last 3 rounds during the 12-man, who you're targeting all day? Rashad Bateman's a guy. I didn't take him in this draft, but Rashad Bateman's a guy I've been taking almost nonstop. I believe in Rashad Bateman. Braylon Allen's another name too. Braylon Allen's another name that I keep taking later. I'm trying to think of like even like after these picks who I take. Rashid Shaheed's another guy I keep taking. I feel like as the number 2 in that offense, he's going to shine and have a good role for that team. And then I think later in the draft, that's when I kind of consider like upside options at tight end or quarterback. Like if I haven't got a backup, I'll just get like some upside there. Got home. Yeah, we're doing another mock, baby. We're doing another mock. I get what you're saying. Thanks, Shahan. I can't stick around for all the late night streams, but glad I stayed for this one. You to go. Jazz Falcon, you to go, bro. You to go. All right, I'm going to get the other mock draft filled up right now, and then we can I'm going to rate these teams really quickly. Really quickly. All right, two more, and then I'm going to – two more. Thoughts on Kincaid? I think Kincaid has like top 5 upside. I think he's going a little too early, though. People aren't recognizing there's a lot of talent in that Bills receiving core, and Josh Allen's probably going to be more like 4,000, 4,300 yards than more. I don't think he's going to be more than that this year. He's going to spread it out. Take on Robinson or Eckler. This is floor versus pass catching upside. Both of them were using the red zone. They split work in their preseason game. So, excuse me. I got to see what that looks like this next week. But it looked like a clear split during the preseason game week 1, at least as far as usage and snaps. All right, let me get this next sleeper link up. We got 12 in here. We got 12 ready to rock. Normally I wouldn't drop it this early, but I'm going to drop it anyway. New mock draft. What spot am I going to do? Let's do the 7. Yeah, normally I wouldn't drop it in the chat this early, but let's get it. We in there. All right, let me break down these teams real quick, and then I'll pull up the next draft. Cody, we got Hill, Samuel, Cooper, decent running back play, good quarterback. I like this team. I like the running back depth. I think you got good upside here, semi-decent floor. I would like to see a little bit more upside at running back. Javonte Williams, I guess Eckler provides a little of that. You got Brooks down low too. Ty Chandler towards the end of the season. This is a good team. I give this team like an 8-2, 8-1. I really like this team. This is a good team. Nice, solid team. Q-Dot, Jefferson, Ayuk, T. Higgins, Jacobs, Cook, Mostert, good job. Jordan Love and Schultz later on. Only thing I can say is maybe you get a little stronger than Schultz. You got him damn near last pick, though. So, I mean, that's a dub for where you got him. You got good floor, good upside. I like this team. I don't like it as much as the team that was right before you. I'll give this team an 8. This is a good team, though. I think it makes the playoffs. Jettas, Ayuk, Higgins, strong receivers. You got some upside with Worthy. Yeah. I guess like an 8-1. 8-1. Jalen Hurts was good. CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Smith, McLaurin, great job of the receivers. Kyron and DeAndre Swift. Jerome Ford, Tyler Algier down there. And then you got Jackson Smith and Jigba, Jaden Daniels, David Njoku, good job. Romeo Doubs, Gabe Davis for a little bit of upside at receiver. I'm not a fan of the running backs. I feel like every week you'd be like, do I start DeAndre Swift or do I start Jerome Ford? But other than that, that's really my only gripe. And I think one of those guys would pan out for you on a weekly basis. So this looks like a playoff team to me too. CD, Devontae Smith, McLaurin. So I'll give this like an 8-1, somewhere in that range. Good. We got really strong drafts. Am I tripping right now? I feel like we got strong drafts so far. Yeah, I would say for the first picks, those are like some of the highest grades I've given out on like the first 3 picks. Good job, top of the draft. Bijan and Derrick Henry with Pittman, Neighbors, and Godwin. Don't mind it. Maybe you get somebody else with Neighbors, but maybe. Can't be picky about everything. Dave Montgomery at the flex. Chase Brown at the flex. One of those two. Tyler Lockett, Cooks. You got Kincaid and Stroud. So you're relying on Chase Brown or Montgomery. If one of those guys hits, you'll be fine. I'll probably go like 7-9. I feel like you got a couple like question marks that just me personally, this is like a personal thing. You got such good value on Kincaid and Stroud though that it kind of makes up for it. Your flex and your wide receiver too are just like kind of question marks. But if Godwin outplays that spot, you'll be fine. I'll get this like a 7-9. 7-9. Suzanne got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Calvin Ridley, Christian Watson with Kamara and Mixon. Got Kyle Pitts, Anthony Richardson, Gus Edwards, Addison, who just got hurt. Hopefully he's back soon. Rashad Bateman, Jacoby Myers, McLaughlin. I don't mind this team. I just wish you didn't go back-to-back here. I think it was good value. That's the only area I'm like, because then if you would have had a slightly better play. If Christian Watson pans out, you're going to love this team. But Christian Watson, you have a lot of pressure right now on Christian Watson to be your guy. So that's the only thing I would say. What do I always tell you guys? There's one rule. I even put it in the draft guide. Always take 3 receivers in the first 5 to 6 rounds. That'd be the only thing I said about like if you had say you had another receiver here. Oh, shit, all the receivers are gone. JSN, Deontay Johnson. It's not, I mean, for what was left, I guess you did what you're supposed to do. But if there was another receiver here or maybe even here, and then you would have been able to get like Kincaid or Andrews or somebody down. I know we can't rewrite the draft, but you did good. That's the only gripe I have. I'll still give it a 7-9. That's the only gripe I have. Otherwise, it's a good draft. It's a good draft. I think all 5 of those teams would be like challenging for the playoffs. This would be a very competitive league so far. Christian McCaffrey, Cooper Kupp, DK Metcalf, Keenan Allen, Rashee Rice. Damn. Aaron Jones, Mark Andrews, Kyler Murray, Blake Corum, A.D. Mitchell. Yeah, this is a good team too, bro. This is like an 8-1. You stacked up here with the receivers. And you anchored it with Christian McCaffrey, bro. If Aaron Jones hits, this team is like filthy. Kyler Murray and Andrews, this is a good team, bro. You guys are drafting really well right now. I don't know what it is because I know it's the same mix of players, but like I feel like you guys are drafting really well. Like, do you guys agree with the teams right now? Like, I normally don't give out this higher rankings, but I feel like this is a really competitive draft right now. Am I tripping or no? Jamar Chase, Puka Nacua. This is probably where, you know what I'm saying? This is probably where I figured there would at least going to be one team like this. Chase, Nacua, Travis Etienne, James Conner, Pollard. The running backs are fine, but they all are like either in a timeshare or have the worry of a timeshare. Puka Nacua is injured and banged up right now. But his team's not terrible. You got some good, decent wide receiver 3 options in Hollywood Brown, J-Mo, and Curtis Samuel. You need one of those guys to pan out, though, on a weekly basis. That's the only issue is which one of those guys you're going to start on a weekly basis and which one of them can play your flex in case one of your running backs doesn't pan out. So wide receiver 3 and flex are going to be a lot of pressure on those spots. I give this team like a 7-8, Isaac, 7-8. Breece Hall, Devon Achane, with Harrison, Tank Dell, Jaden Reed, Pat Mahomes, with Ferguson, Jalen Warren, and Brian Robinson. So Dell is your number 2 receiver right now. Jaden Reed, I think Jaden Reed's your number 2 receiver. And then you got Ladd and Jalen Polk. I'm not feeling this team. I don't think this team would even make the playoffs. Seeing some of these other teams, I don't think this team will make the playoffs. Harrison at the 2 spot. Yeah, I don't think this team will make the playoffs, if I'm being honest. This is like a 7-5, 7-6. Barkley, Evans, Diggs, Wild, Flowers. Good job. Zamir White, Zach Moss. DeAndre Hopkins is your 5th receiver. Zeke Elliott. Got Goddard, Trevor Lawrence late. Great job, Sonny G. Jerry Jeudy. I think this would be a good team too. Probably have to make some tweaks throughout the season, but this looks solid. It's like an 8-2 to me. 8-2. Teddy with Jonathan Taylor, K. Walk, and Najee. Excellent running backs. You got Drake London, George Pickens, Christian Kirk. So I think it's good receivers. There's just a little bit more risk in the receivers. Like we've never seen it with London. We kind of seen it with Pickens last year. And then Christian Kirk just maybe limited upside. Then you got Joshua Palmer and Thielen late. I would have liked to see a better 4th receiver. I know you can't have perfect drafts, but would have liked to see a better 4th receiver. Prescott and Purdy. So you got 2 elite quarterbacks, probably some trade bait there. And then George Kittle and Bowers. I would have liked to see you get another receiver instead of another quarterback, but it is what it is when they're falling like that. I give this draft like a 7, 9, 8, somewhere in that range. With me, I got A.J. Brown, Olave, and DJ Moore. With Gibbs and Stevenson, Jackson and Ingram. I wish I would have got another receiver. I was going on that value, though. I wish I would have got another receiver, but I'm not too mad at the way the team turned out. I think this is a strong team. Stevenson, maybe I reached a little on Stevenson, but I thought he was good value there. I'll give this team like an 8-1. I think I would be a playoff team, but I like my bench, but it's probably not as strong as some of the others out there. Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, Nico Collins, with Rashad White and Spears. You got a lot of pressure on your running backs. Obviously going receiver early will do that. And then getting a quarterback and tight end. I mean, 2 of the strongest in the game at Hurts and Kelsey. Then you got upside late with Odunze, Shakir, and Mike Will. A lot of injury concern there with Dobbins and Williams. And then obviously with Dowdle, we don't know his status. Odunze's in a timeshare. Spears in a timeshare. I think this seems like a solid 8, maybe a 7, closer to 7-9, but it's top heavy. This lineup is top heavy. So let me know what you guys think. I think you guys drafted really well. Really well. Really, really good drafts, man.